Here's the gap nobody talks about. AI works beautifully in demos. Someone shows you a prompt, AI produces something impressive, everyone says awesome, and then you try to use it in your actual work, your real process, the thing you do every day, and it's not quite that clean. You're using AI for the bits of it, the first draft, here, a summary there, but not really like a part of the process. And that's the difference between those two experiences. And it has a name: bolting AI on versus baking AI in. So, what does bolting mean? Bolting on means you use AI when you remember to. It's an addition. The workflow exists, and occasionally you reach out for AI to help you with a piece of it. Imagine using a nut bolt to fix something, so you use a nut bolt to fix AI in your already existing workflow. Baking in means you've redesigned the workflow itself with AI as a part of the structure and not an addition to it. It's built into how this process runs. Imagine how when you're baking a cake, you mix everything well, you mix all the ingredients and then you bake it. You cannot miss an ingredient and then add later. There is no nut bolt to fix it. So you have to make it a part of this mixture. And similarly, you make AI a part of your workflow process and bake it in it. So this video is more about the second one, and I'm going to show you how you can exactly do this and what it looks like with a real example. So what does an AI integrated workflow actually is? Let's define what we are building first. Okay, so a workflow is just a documented process, a sequence of steps that produce a consistent result. You probably have workflows, but you may have not really written it down. The way you approach writing a proposal, the order in which you tackle a new project, the steps you go through to produce a piece of content, all of these have workflows and processes. Most people's workflows were designed in the world without AI, which means they were designed assuming a human does every step. Research, human; outline, human; draft, human; edit, human; format, human; everything human. So an AI integrated workflow doesn't mean you remove human out of it. It just means being honest about which steps genuinely require a human and which ones are just mechanical, something that follows a pattern. That kind of a thing that's tiring to do but doesn't actually need your judgment. I made a complete video on that, and it might be somewhere on the top. You can check it out. Okay, moving on. Those mechanical steps are AI's territory. The judgment steps are yours. So when you rebuild a workflow with that lens, AI takes the mechanical load and you focus on the judgment part of it. The same output takes a fraction of time, and it's often better because you're not spending creative energy on the parts that don't need it. So your time is also freed in that sense. So here is a real example. Let's look at a content workflow, the before and the after of it. So this is how it exactly looks like. I'm going to use a content workflow specifically like producing a newsletter edition. It's something a lot of you may have done or at least have some idea about this part of content creation. So here's a workflow without AI involved in creating a newsletter. Step one, decide on the topic. Step two, do the research, gathering, gathering information, references, finding angles. Step three, write an outline. Four, write the full draft. Five, edit for tone, length, clarity. Six, write the subject line and preview text. Seven, format and schedule. So every one of those steps is a human doing everything. Okay, the whole thing might take say 3 to 4 hours for one newsletter edition. Now, here's the same workflow with AI baked in. Pause the video if you need to and go through it in detail. Notice what changed? The structure is identical. 7 steps, same output. But steps 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 now have AI doing the mechanical heavy lifting. You're not writing every word, you're directing, reviewing, injecting what only you can bring. And that's the lived experience, the original angle, the brand voice that AI can approximate but never really fully own. So the newsletter that used to take 3 to 4 hours now takes 45 minutes to an hour to get the same quality. Sometimes even better because you spend your energy on the parts that actually needed you in it. So, how do you do this for your own workflow? Your process probably isn't a newsletter. So, how do you do it for yourself? It might be for a client proposal, a campaign plan, a weekly report, some financial accounting, a social content cycle, whatever it is. The method is the same regardless of what the process is. And here's how you go about it. Number one, ask the first question. What are all the steps in this process? Write that down. Every step, even the ones that you feel it's too small to mention, just write it. Most people discover that their processes have more steps than they realized, and several of them are things they've been doing probably on autopilot. They never really examined it. So just write everything down. Question number two, which steps are mechanical and which require my genuine judgment? So, mechanical means anything that follows a pattern. There is structuring, summarizing, generating options, formatting, drafting from a brief, basically everything that's AI territory. And judgment means the decisions about what angle to take, the call about what to cut, the relationship nuances, the final approval, the original insights, basically, all of that is yours. Question number three. For each mechanical step, what prompt would you give me? What prompt would give me a useful starting point? That's it. Those prompts go into your prompt library, which we spoke about in the last video. You can check it out here if you haven't. And those steps become AI steps. You've just rebuilt the workflow. So you start with your one highest frequency process, the thing that you do most often, and get that working really, really well before you touch anything else or any other process to move next to. And here is an honest note. Before we actually move on, I genuinely want to tell you something. The first time you run a rebuilt workflow, it will not be perfect. Okay, the prompts will need tweaking. Some steps you thought were mechanical will turn out to be like they need more judgment than you expected. Some steps that you thought would be needing you would actually be fine with AI handling them. And honestly, that's not failure. That's just calibration. And this is a part of it. Give any rebuilt workflow 3 runs before you finally judge it. So by the third time, you'll have a redefined prompt. You'll know where to jump in and where to let AI handle things. And the time savings will be obvious, but don't jump on it before you even give it a few chances. So the goal is not to be perfect on the first run, it's to have the proper information and build a system for your workflow that is smooth and efficient. This video is part of the full course of AI for non-tech professionals, and the link for the free course is in the description. Do check it out. In the next video, we are going one level deeper. You've got your prompts, you've got your workflows. Now the next question is, what if AI already knew your voice, your brand, your context, every single session without you re-explaining it every time? That's what custom chats are going to do. And it's one of the most underrated features in AI right now. So stay tuned. And in the meantime, do let me know any other topics you'd like me to create a video on AI for non tech people in the comments. See you there.